Today we celebrate the 60th anniversary of one of the top universities and military training installations in the world.
And we love how they're our partner here in the community, the United States Air Force Academy. Strong roots with discussion of its inception before there was even an Air Force. Craig Coffey this morning with more of this storied history and a great organization. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, guys. That is right. Now, their mission is to educate, train, and inspire men and women to become officers of character, motivated to lead the U.S. Air Force to serve our nation. The Academy is a pillar of education and a foundation for future leaders throughout its existence. In part one this hour, we start looking back at some dates helping create 60 years of local and national memories. April 1st, 1954, President Eisenhower signs legislation officially establishing the Air Force Academy. To May of the same year, Charles Lindbergh and other members of the Air Force Academy Site Selection Commission visit the proposed Academy site near Colorado Springs, finalizing the area on June 24th. By July, Denver's Lowry Air Force Base becomes the interim home, and that December, the Air Force Cadet Wing is formally established under Lieutenant General Hubert Harmon, who would later be officially named as the father of the Air Force Academy, honoring his role for service and planning of the establishment. Now to July 11, 1955, the first class of 306 men begin training in Denver. Valmore Baroque, the first cadet sworn in 1964, also becoming the first graduate killed in combat. His service and dedication ceremony is covered live on national television. In September of 1955, the class of 59 chooses the Falcon as their mascot. And then November of 55 sees the Exceptional Civilian Service Award given to Hollywood film director and producer Cecil B. DeMille for designing the Air Force Academy uniforms still worn to this day. By August 29, 1958, as construction continues on the Academy, the cadet wing of more than 1,100 cadets and staff arrive at the permanent campus in Colorado Springs. In November of the same year, Major General James Briggs, the Academy's second superintendent, appears on the television game show What's My Line? Now to sports, where Falcon Athletics have a long tradition of flying high. On January 1st, 1959, the football team goes undefeated and ends the season with a 0-0 tie against the heavily favored Texas Christian University in the Cotton Bowl. This in a time when there were only 4 bowl games. In October of 1959, they play Army for the first time in Yankee Stadium. It ends in a 13-13 tie in front of 67,000 fans. Athletic success would carry on throughout the years. On August 8, 1984, Alonzo Babers, class of '83, wins the gold medal in the 400-meter dash during the Summer Olympic Games in Los Angeles. The first of 2 gold medals he would win in L.A., and the only Academy grad to earn gold. A lot of great memories in 60 years. Now, in part 2 this hour, we're going to look back at more memorable dates from the Academy's history, including cultural and trend-setting moves, plus some standout graduates as well. Back to you.
A lot of greatness that comes out of that school, I'll tell you.
Absolutely, yeah. So proud to have them here and partners in our community. You can check out the Air Force Band tonight, absolutely free at the Academy. Some more information, check them out there and give them a call.
Honoring the anniversary of the Air Force Academy, we've already heard about some memorable dates throughout its early years. Yeah,
now in part 2 of his 60-year flashback, Craig Coffey sharing more on the impact the Academy has had on cultural and national issues. Good morning, Craig.
That is right. Good morning once again. In the second half of its existence, from past to present day, several dates stand out that are culturally significant, emotional, tearful, and joyful. Here are more of those moments from the first 6 decades of the United States Air Force Academy. June 3rd, 1959, 207 cadets become the first class of graduates. In November of 1960, the Academy Hospital becomes operational when Deanna Reeves is the first baby born. She goes on to graduate in the class of '83. September 22nd, 1962, Falcon Stadium holds its first event. More than 41,000 fans watched the football team defeat Colorado State 34-0. There's also a cadet area open house on the same day. The result, traffic jams as far south as Pueblo and as far north as Castle Rock. On June 5th, 1963, President Kennedy speaks to graduation. This is the first graduation in Falcon Stadium, and he is the first president to speak during an Air Force Academy graduation ceremony. Now to April of 1964, the Air Force approves a split curriculum where each cadet will graduate with a major. This is a first in Service Academy history. February 1966, the size of the cadet wing jumps to more than 4,400 cadets. Today's cadet size is authorized for 4,000. During the noon dedication of the F-105 Thunderbird on the Terrazzo in May of 1968, the F-105 flyby breaks the sound barrier, causing $170,000 worth of damage, including windows in several buildings. Now let's talk girl power. June 1976, the Air Force Academy is the first of the Defense Service Academies to admit women. 97 would graduate with the class of 1980. Flash forward to June of 1998. Heather Wilson, class of 82, was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives and the first female veteran in American history to serve in Congress. And the ladies keep soaring. In August of 2013, Lieutenant General Michelle Johnson, class of 81, becomes the first female and graduate to serve as Air Force Academy Superintendent. September 11, 2001, 2 Air Force Academy graduates are killed. Charles Jones, class of 74, was a passenger aboard American Airlines Flight 11, crashing into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Also, Leroy Homer, class of 1987, was the first officer of United Airlines Flight 93 that crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. In April of 2004, the Academy is declared a National Historic Landmark and giving credit to his glider training while attending. In January of 2009, Captain Sullenberger, class of 73, lands U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on the Hudson River. For his heroic actions, Captain Sullenberger is awarded the Academy's Award for Airmanship. All right, good stuff for sure. Now, to date, get this, there are 46,039 graduates from the Academy. Last year alone, cadets provided 38,000 hours of volunteer and service learning time. The cost of education is just under $46,400 per graduate per year. Now, that with the total cost of everything included, about $445,000 for 4 years. But for students, this all comes for free as long as they graduate and commit to service afterwards. Back to you.
Future leaders of our nation.
We love it right here in our backyard. Thanks, Craig.